sometimes God is so far away you don't know where to find him. And people have a hard time. I've been talking with people that don't believe in God. They actually call themselves pagans. And so many have been brought up in the church, in a church background. And what's happened, that people in the church have really betrayed and hurt them so much. And what they do is leave the church and leave God. They think that God is the problem, and they don't realize it's people. And so we've got to find God separate from God. Has shown me that his power is what is needed in all these circumstances, no matter what. And this is what I want to teach others, to show others, because there's many people leaving the church. The church is letting people down. The church is organized religion. And I really don't basically have anything wrong with the church, because I was brought up, I was brought up Catholic, which, I left that, but then I got born again and became Baptist. They gave me a good foundation in the Word. Then I got Spirit-filled, and well, when this, Spirit-filled, you can't go to the Baptist anymore, but then I learned about the Spirit-filled life. And then we became Messianic Jewish. We got to our Hebrew roots. Well, then the other ones don't want you either. Each stage, that's another thing. You just always have to leave people behind. Philippians says, pressing on, forgetting what's behind. And that's a lot of times what we have to do, is forget what's behind. They just don't know. What we do know, we need to live up to, Philippians says too. So once you know, you've got to move on. So now, the prophetic then is and involved in this, which I'm not a prophet. I would say that I'm a seer, but he moved me into the heavens to see the heavens. And this is the more esoteric part of our faith. Esoteric means hidden, only shown to those who seek it, who search it out. And the Lord says that God hides things, but it is for the kings to search it out. And we are priests and kings. He wants us to search out. We have more of a spiritual power and relationship with God than we are aware of, because we are bound in these organized religions. Now, of course, now everybody believes in every kind of other thing, so you can kind of see where someone wanted to organize the religion, like, okay, here's what we believe, 1, 2, 3, so you don't have to figure it out. But it's the time now where we need to figure it out. Everything is changing, and it's time for us to figure out God apart from man. We're having shifts and changes in the world, shift and changes, the top-down structure. There are things hidden that are still going to be revealed, that we don't even know how bad it is in this world. But things are being shaken in the weather, shaken in the politics, shaken in religion, and shaken in our lives. And so this is the time now where we get our foundation. We've been working on our foundation ever since for a year or so now, but especially October, November, December, January, now February, and into March. Every month has a significance with the number 4. 4 is foundation. Now then, of course, our year 2020 is 4. 4 is foundation. We've got to build our foundation on Him. Redo. Let everything come crumbling down in our lives so we have nothing but Him in these areas. In the areas of our identity and finances and relationships and partnerships, our spirituality. So this is what He calls us to this month, the spiritual power that He has available for us in the hidden places, fed by our reaching out to Him, understanding higher matters, opening up our minds to higher things of Him, and spending time with Him. So God needs us at this time. It's a time of major shift and rebuilding, and He wants us to be a part of that rebuilding in the areas that we're involved in. Now back to the people not knowing God. Sometimes if you don't know God, you need to go to the basics. And God created everything. Everything was created by God. So one way to get to know God in a non-threatening way, because people are also afraid of God. They're afraid of His power. They're afraid of these mighty things He has for us. But to get to know God on a personal level, look to His creation. Take some time and go outside. And now it's a little cold and all that, but still you could see little birds flying around, the little habits they have. You could see the squirrels running around doing things. You could, when the trees start blossoming in spring, amazed how that happens every year, that it's a death and then coming to life. See the little things. Marvel at the creation, how God made things. I mean, even simple things you can be marveled at, how God gave men creativity. I mean, just today I was looking at these Ziploc bags. I've been using a lot of Ziploc bags. How do they get those sheets so thin and, sealed without a seam? And I mean, there's just so many marvels. I mean, the cars, airplanes, just things that we take for ordinary could have been miracles, 100, 200 years ago. So God is all around, and to open our hearts and our eyes to see Him in these simple things. So I encourage you, take the time, strengthen your spiritual muscles, love God with all your heart and soul and mind, and then He'll give you the ability to love others through Him. God needs you. Hineni, here am I, send me. So God bless you. I hope this has helped you.